Great crowd on hand earlier this afternoon. We'll give you an idea now as we pan around it, the kind of people that are here for this third game of the day. This is a 2A attraction semifinal. Storm Lake, the Tornadoes conquerors of Clear Lake, taking on the Hampton Bulldogs. Interestingly enough, Hampton in its win over Washington hit 52% from the field, but what perhaps is even more startling is they had 55 rebounds in that ball game. Hampton boarded 55 times in the win over Washington, 84-59. Storm Lake did a good job on Clear Lake, 69-49, hit 53% of the field in winning that one. Hampton, third ranked in the state on one poll. Storm Lake fifth ranked, so they're both rated ball clubs. Storm Lake has won 19 while dropping 2. Hampton 20-2. This of course includes tournament action. Storm Lake brings in the 6th best offense in AA, 66 a game. Hampton brings in the 5th best at 68 a game. Storm Lake brings in the number 2 defense in 2A, a 50.6 average. Hampton brings in the 4th best at 55. So they're two nifty ball clubs. So we find now that Bob Wilson is ready to make some announcements here for the starting lineups on this ball game. So let's go courtside to Bob.
In semifinal action in Class 2A play. On the scoreboard, listed as the visiting team, will be the Bulldogs from Hampton. And listed as the home team, the Tornadoes of Storm Lake. The reserve members of both squads first. Number 13 is Skip Barrick. Number 15, Jeff Klein. Number 21, Kevin Mollenbeck. Number 25, Tom Drew. Number 33, Brian Klein. Number 41, Steve Ludens. Number 43, Dan Borkerding. Number 51, Brad Abbas. Number 53, Paul Hansen. Number 55, Roger Huntington. The assistant coach for the Bulldogs, Ben Fridley. For the Tornadoes, number 12 is Kevin Cohn. Number 14, Tad Weiss. Number 22, John Thompson. Number 30, Kevin Crampton. Number 32, Tim Schwans. Number 34, Steve Otto. Number 40, John Mernon. Number 42, Vic Hendricks. Number 50, Jim Kirkpatrick. And number 52, Dean Zwemke. The assistant coach for the Tornadoes, John Brostad. And now for your starting lineups. At a forward for Hampton, number 35, Lon Hand. For Storm Lake, number 20, Dave Chapman. Number 31 is Todd Helskoff. Number 44, Roger Schulz. At the centers, number 45, Dan DeVries. Number 54, Doug Otto. At the guards, number 23, Doug Hand. Number 24, Alec Engebretson. Number 11, Phil Jorgenson. And number 10, Matt. The head coach for the Bulldogs is Dave Hanneman, and for the Tornadoes, Larry Parman. Our officials for the ball game: the referee, Gene Glab of Dubuque; the umpire, Bernie O'Connor of Dubuque; the auxiliary bench official, Bob Lee from
I think it's safe to say this one's a toss-up, and keep your eye on number 11, Phil Jorgenson, of the Hampton Bulldogs. We watched him in the opener, Mitch, against Washington. He's got to be one of the finest high school basketball guards state of Iowa, any class. This kid's tough.
Yes, he's a good one, and keep in mind, he used to live in Storm Lake. He moved from Storm Lake to Hampton. What a loss that was.
Well, you must know some of these people, huh?
Very well. Good friend of young Weiss still, the guard. They might match up.
All right. So this is a 2A semifinal. The winner gets into the championship game. And the tip is controlled by Storm Lake, the Tornadoes out of northwestern Iowa. That's Chapman handling it on the far side, and that's Weiss. Little Matthew Weiss. And the shot missed by Engebretson. The rebound goes into the hand of Hampton, and bringing the ball up is Doug Hand. Underneath to DeVries. DeVries had 28 in that opener against Washington. You get to him inside, and it's Katie bar the door. Chapman quickly into the front court as Hampton jumps into the lead here, as we're off and running in 2A. Another 2A game tonight, Pella and Cedar Rapids Regis. There you saw the shot attempt by Otto, partially blocked. The rebound taken by Lonnie Hand. Lonnie and Doug Hand are brothers. There's Jorgenson, number 11, as we said. A nifty guard. You'll see a lot of him before this game is over this afternoon. Jorgenson on the shot attempt, and that's a little of what we're talking about. The kid just nifty.
Boy, he's a great guard. So far, he's had a good tournament.
Indeed, Mitch, averaging 18 coming in at 17 in that win over Washington, and parks the first two for the afternoon here. 4-0 in favor of Hampton. The Bulldogs playing on the Bulldogs court.
You know, the experts have to look good, Mark. All four of the remaining AA games are rated teams.
Indeed. Nice move inside by Schulz, but he had to go over the big guy, DeVries, and was a little bit intimidated, I think. Didn't get her, and the ball is retained, however, by Storm Lake.
In this one, Storm Lake rated number 5, and Hampton rated number 3 on the season. That's pretty close.
Chapman on the far side, Engebretson. That's Chapman.
Other two ratings, of course, were Pella tonight, number 1, against Cedar Rapids Regis, number 6.
That should be fun. It's dug away by Hampton. Storm Lake, of course, has a great basketball tradition. Just prior to 1970, I hear they used to live here, practically. Jorgenson.
Well, in addition to missing a lot of school because of weather this year, they're missing a lot of school. Their girls were here last week.
We've got a timeout. Now this word from your local station. From the side, Hampton out in front. There are more similarities than what Mitch outlined. These are two conference champions as well. So rated conference champions, very similar records, similar in style, as a matter of fact. So we're looking for a good one, but right now it belongs to Hampton in the early going, 6-0 with about 5:40 left to play. You're looking at Chapman handle it out on top. He's tough, and that's Weiss. Chapman around the outside of that zone. We've seen a lot of zone here in this tournament thus far, too. Chapman, the rebound to DeVries. He gives it to Jorgenson. Jorgenson heading east here at Des Moines. Put up by DeVries. It'll go. The assist goes to Jorgenson. And the foul is going to be... Dean Zwemke.
You'll see the advantage of Jorgenson. A good dump.
DeVries on the line. Zwemke committed the personal foul. Zwemke is 6'4" junior in that lineup for Storm Lake. Engebretson. We have 8-0 as our score. Chapman short. And they're going to award the ball out of bounds in favor of the Tornadoes of Storm Lake. Green and white in their predominantly white uniform here this afternoon. The Bulldogs in the predominantly black uniform with the red trim. Weiss, 22-footer. He's averaging 6. He was held scoreless in the win over Clear Lake. Gets his first basket of the tournament. Jorgenson over his hands. Picked up very nicely by Zwemke. Weiss dropping it on the far side for Engebretson. They go inside to Otto. Going over DeFries, and the ball tipped in the hands of Doug Hand. Here comes Hampton. The Bulldogs out in front, 8-2. The shot attempt by Jorgenson, that time a little bit off the mark. The rebound to Chapman. We're down to 4 left to play here in the opening quarter. Weiss 2 in a row. Matt Weiss has hit his second consecutive basket. He's averaging 6. 8-4. They cut the lead in half after being down 8-2. And intending the pass for Lon Hand, so brother to brother, but they couldn't figure out what one was going to do to the other, and as a result, the ball goes out of bounds. There's a very candid look now at Engebretson.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4.
The
testing.
Quick junior guard
Testing.
for Storm Lake. Now you're looking at a senior guard, Matt Weiss. To Engebretson. Weiss looking inside, collapsing on Otto. Otto trying to go over DeFries. He does, but a tough job. The rebound picked off very nicely, played well by Lon Hand. They go down in the traveling violation called against the Hampton Bulldogs. Third ranked in AA. Winners over Washington, 84-59. 13-1 in their conference, the North Central, where they won the title. We're down to 3:15, 8-4 is the score. Up goes Engebretson. The rebound is swept off by Lon Hand. He in turn gives it to brother Doug. He gives it to Phil Jorgenson. There's Phil Jorgenson. Did he travel? Yep, turned it over. So the ball will go out of bounds along the far or north sidelines to the Bulldogs, but we've got a timeout. Now this word from your local station. Time back in with 2:59 left to go here in the opening quarter. The spread is 4, as you see it there at home. Nice to have you with us here at Veterans Memorial Auditorium in Des Moines for this AA attraction. We're looking at Weiss. Give to Engebretson. Hampton jumped out 6-0, then led 8-2. Storm Lake came back to within 4, and that's where we are right now. Working against the zone, seeing a couple of zone. Chapman on the iron, but that's it, and he caught on the hand by Jorgenson. So Jorgenson gets his first personal foul.
In this ball game, we've also got some people competing in the individual scoring derby. Dan DeFries had 28 in that opening ball game over Washington. Dave Chapman with 20 for Storm Lake is third. Brian Vanderloon of Pella is with 21 points in second place. And Phil Jorgenson, of course, of Hampton, still got a shot at it. He had 17 in that opening game.
Chapman has his first scoring of the afternoon here. He's 74% from the line. He got 20 in the win over Clear Lake, and he's averaging 16. So this kid warms to the task. He can hurt you. It's 8-6 now. And the Tornadoes come within 2 of the Bulldogs who have the ball. That's Helskov on the far side. Jorgenson knocked out of Jorgenson's hands by Dean Swemke. And Jorgenson touched it last. They will give the ball over to Storm Lake so they can tie this ball game up. 2:25 and counting as Weiss goes into that front or west court. Engebretson. Off the back, DeFries with the big rebound. DeFries goes 6'7". He is a junior. Jorgenson. Doug Hand, brother of Lonnie, a 5'11" junior. Lonnie is a senior. Not that time. The rebound taken off by Chapman. Here come the Tornadoes. Chapman. 4 points for Chapman, the leading scorer on that ball club.
I mentioned Jorgenson moving in for as far as this ball club is concerned from Storm Lake. Chapman's a move in also for Storm Lake.
Helskov breaks the tie. We were tied at 8 all. Helskov gets his first basket. He's averaging near 12, scored 12 in the win over Washington.
I guess Jorgenson would have been a move out rather than a move in. Chapman would have been the move in from Ida Grove.
Chapman again, 2 in a row. Nope. I think DeFries slapped it out, but they say DeFries and Otto. Doug Otto is a 6'4" junior center. That kid plays tough. He had a dozen in the win over Clear Lake, and he's giving away 3 inches to DeFries, but he'll play him tough. He's a good jumper. The tip goes out of bounds. They'll award it to whom? They give the ball to Storm Lake.
DeVries at 6'7" is not the biggest man in the AA tournament. The biggest man in AA for the whole tournament, for that matter, happens to be Kevin Frederick of Pella, 6'8".
Try to get it under Otto. He lost it. Picked up by Jorgenson. You saw the behind the back dribble. Bad pass. Chapman saw that one coming. It was intended for Doug Hand. So here come the Tornadoes. They could tie it again. Engebretson.
Right back where you started.
Yep, 10-all, second time around. Less than a minute left to play, opening quarter. AA attraction, another one to go. Helskov timing it beautifully, but didn't get the basket. To freeze on the fall away. No, he was fouled before the shot by Zwemke. 39 seconds left.
There are 3 teams in this tournament that also had their girls in last week. Storm Lake is one of those. Regis is another. And the third would be Ackley Geneva. That's the Hampton crowd that you're looking into in the red and the black.
And we had a chance there to witness the foul. Here's Helskov. Too much time. They'll give the ball off to the Tornadoes so they could take the lead here for the first time this afternoon. In the opening quarter, we're down to 35 seconds left. This is Weiss. Matt Weiss, along with Engebretson at the guards, Chapman on the wing. So they're just going to wait. And no count is started. The official is, I'm sure, watching the clock on the count in the mid-court part of the forecourt. The foul is on Weiss. Here's a look at it.
That's Weiss that's right now just trying to run off some time with Jorgenson, and they're ruling that Weiss had the shoulder into him or his elbow out, probably, on the charge.
So the offensive foul, the ball goes into the hands of Jorgenson, who triggers it into Doug Hand with 9 seconds left to go. They go inside to DeFries. He wheels and deals, traveling. So with 4 seconds left, the ball along the northern sidelines, backcourt out of bounds to Engebretson. He gives it to Weiss. 3 seconds, 2. Chapman at the buzzer. Good. Nope, no good. So there it is. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Storm Lake 10, Hampton 10. We'll be back after this word from your local station.
Come celebrate the season with a frosty green triple thick shamrock shake. Sure as there's Irish, 'tis the first green of spring.
Hey, come on out. The weather's getting better. Have a thick green shamrock shake. We'll welcome in the spring together. 'Tis the first green of spring, and it didn't come too soon. Have a rich and thick green shamrock shake. Good taste is in full bloom. At McDonald's, 'tis the first green of spring. Shamrock shakes for you.
The start of the second frame. Hampton, 4 points by Jorgenson, 4 by DeFries, 2 by Helskov in that opening quarter. Chapman had 4 for Storm Lake, 4 by Weiss, and 2 by Engebretson. That's all of the scoring, 10-10. Hampton did lead by as much as 6. And the tip control by Engebretson. Storm Lake has it. Storm Lake is yet to lead, so maybe they will on this possession. Let's wait and see. Against the zone, up against DeFries. Engebretson on the attempt, no good. The rebound by Lon Hand over to his brother Doug, down to Phil Jorgenson. He'll try it, about a 15-foot jumper, and the rebound picked off by Storm Lake's Roger Schulz. Up to Chapman. 7.5 to go. Schulz came into the ball game with a bloody nose. He came out of the locker room with his nose bleeding, but apparently they've stopped it. Schulz on the shot, he missed it, and the rebound and foul is on Otto. The rebound, I think, went to Helskov. It did. And Otto picks up his first personal foul, and here's a replay of it. There's the shot attempt put up by Schulz. It's no good. The rebound comes to Helskov, and Otto apparently from behind on the body rub.
Helskov had a sister, Jane Helskov, that played for Hampton in the state girls tournament a couple of years ago. Also an outstanding girl golfer at Hampton.
Helskov, too strong, gets his own rebound, almost fouled by Chapman. Over to Jorgenson, blocked beautifully. Retrieved by, that was Engebretson who blocked it. Retrieved by Weiss. Still 10-all, no scoring in the second quarter. Chapman trying to change that, draws the foul. Helskov, his first. Second team foul on Hampton, but there'll be some free throws. Here's a look at the foul. As Chapman goes up, he was sandwiched. Jorgenson behind it, but Helskov was the one who caught him on the arm, number 31.
Have a feeling that draw the foul is what he had in mind. He'd have taken the 2 if he could have got it, but he wanted to at least come out of there with the chance here for the freebie.
I think you're right, Mitch. He was trying to draw all the way.
He's a good free thrower. On the season, 74%. Candidate for the National Honor Society at the Tornado School.
4 consecutive free throws. He has a total of 6 points, 4 out of 4. Leading scorer for 2 years on this ball club, Dave Chapman. 12-10, and Storm Lake's first lead of the afternoon. Helskov trying to get it into DeFries, banged out of bounds by Doug Otto. We've got a change. Jorgenson comes back in, and
that 1-2 punch at Hampton is something else. DeVries at 6'7", Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside Jorgenson, 18.7 and 18.4.
Helskov. Helskov has his second basket. 12-12. We are knotted up for the third time here this afternoon between these 2A ball clubs. Foul's going to be whistled on DeFries. He fell against him, as you could see. So DeFries has his first personal foul. We'll give you another look at that one. They go inside. That's Schulz trying to go, and then DeFries bangs him. And there's a good look at the back of this junior, 6'7", Dan DeFries. Still growing, we understand. Got a vertical jump of about 10-9. Schultz's first scoring of the afternoon. He had 9 in the win over Clear Lake. He's averaging 10. Good shooter, and as you can tell, a southpaw. So give him a pair.
Yes.
14-12. Storm Lake for the second time by a couple.
You know, Hampton ought to feel a little bit at home here. Every time they go down the court, that sign says Bulldogs. I'm sure our color cameras are picking it up in the end zone. They're the Hampton Bulldogs. No unfair advantage. Happens to be the Drake University home court.
Helskov will take it out of bounds. DeFries. 3 baskets for the big guy. He has a total of 18 points as an average, and as Mitch told you, he's hit 28, and that's the top scoring in 2A. I think that's the top scoring in the tournament. Jorgenson.
Well, you got a good look that time at Phil with a little bit of begging in his eyes as he looked at that referee. Not me.
4th team foul.
Would
2
I?
personal fouls on Jorgenson.
Honest ref, trust me.
You know how many of those you win? 14 all.
Next to arguing with your wife, arguing with a referee is about the most futile.
Otto against DeFries. He had no room. He tried to force it. Nothing happened. Jorgenson up court. Gives to Hand. Hand trying to throw that lead pass down in the hands of Brad Abbas, the 6'2" junior forward who just came in. But it goes awry and out of bounds in favor of the Tornadoes.
Brad weighs in at 215. Up and down this 94-foot deck. It's going to take a toll on him.
Engebretson partially blocked. DeFries gets the air ball and gives it up to Phil Jorgenson. Adept at either the left or right hand. 5.5 left to go. Second quarter.
Couldn't be
all.
much more even offensively. Hampton averaging 67-8 and Storm Lake averaging 66-3.
Ain't it? That's Jorgenson.
Hey, that'll make all the college coaches in the room write down in their little notebook.
Good move as he went along the baseline. In or out, he penetrates beautifully. Got great body and ball control. 16-14, Hampton by 2, has led by 6, has been down by 2 twice. Weiss trying to knot it again. Draws iron, the rebound goes to Jorgenson. Up court quickly, fine reaction, gives it to Doug Hand. Hand from about 12.
I'm about ready to change his name from Doug to Sure Hand.
So the point guard on the Hampton offense on that fast break gets 2, his first. He's averaging 5. He got 5 in the Washington game. In the backcourt, Schulz helping out, gives to Weiss. 18-14 now. Hampton has a 4-point spread. Weiss drops it for Engebretson like shooting a free throw. It doesn't happen. The rebound, Helskov. Over to Jorgenson at floor level. We give you Jorgenson heading east here at Des Moines. Out to Hand.
Hampton has lost some of their depth at guard in the first game against Washington. Tom Drew, a 5'10" junior, banged up a knee, and he's out for the tournament. He was their number 6 man and their backup guard.
Against the 2-3 zone, Helskov off the top. 3 baskets for Helskov. Kid's tough. Good shooter, smooth player. He's had 3 field goals. He's averaging 12 on the season. He had 12 in the win over Washington. Weiss moves in, out to Chapman. He can shoot.
Wow. He can play for me.
8 for Chapman. 2 of them are field goals. 3:50 left to go. 2016 is the way it reads with 3:47 left to play.
You watch him knock in those field goals. He knocks in a golf ball about the same way. Excellent.
Tough, huh?
Oh, can putt.
Helskov, the profile shot. Oh, what a towering rebound by Chapman. You saw him come up out of the toaster and really sweep it. Weiss moves her down. Gives to Engebretson. Looking inside to Otto, but they've got him sandwiched outside to Chapman. Almost underneath the freeze. Personal foul number 2 on the big guy.
That makes him. Watch this one. You'll see the big fella come up out of there when the ball starts to come down. Reaching over. Number 45 with the left arm. Reached over.
That's what they call it. Got some substitutions coming in. Engebretson just left the ball game. Coming back in is Schulz. That was the change for Storm Lake, and we've had one here for Hampton as well, as Doug Hand came back into the lineup.
That's Doug Otto with the shell-rimmed glasses. Oh. Roger Schulz.
Well, they put him back just in time. He tipped that one in very nicely on the rebound. He has a total of 4. His first field goal. 20-18. Hampton's lead cut to 2. Doug Hand to Helskov, looking for DeFries underneath. Can't find him across that zone. Far side to brother Lonnie. Helskov. And the rebound goes to Chapman.
Had a good chance at the fast break that time, but nobody in the passing lane breaking out.
We're down to 2:40 left in the half. Weiss on this possession. Storm Lake could tie it. Been tied 4 times, last time at 14. 14 handling it is Tad Weiss, the brother. Chapman, no way. Otto. DeFries fouled him.
And Hampton has a pretty big problem right there.
3 on the big guy. That's the broad back of Dan DeFries. This guy can intimidate underneath, and they pull him and put Brad Abbas back in, the 6'2" junior.
Okay, you'll see the man come into this 3rd foul. That's Otto's going to be the man coming up, but DeFries going to go up. Well, he's following him there. Again, tried to make the block. Can't do it.
All right. Let's see if they go inside more to Otto now. Otto's first scoring of the afternoon. He's averaging 13.5. He had 12 in the win over Clear Lake.
That's
Chapman
DeFries.
comes out and Engebretson comes in.
That's DeFries sitting there with Coach Hanneman right now. Neither one of them a picture of happiness. It's a pretty good sized bandage on that left knee.
Yeah, indeed. They call the foul on Engebretson, who just was reinserted. Otto gets 1 out of 2.
So we take a long walk from the west end to the east end of Veterans Auditorium.
As I said, it's going to be interesting now to see if the Tornadoes switch to an inside offense and try to go to Otto. Otto's tough inside. As I said, he got a dozen against Clear Lake. He's physical. He can jump. And the kid's got a good touch. There's a good look at the Tornadoes bench. Coach Larry Parman in his 4th year and first trip here. The foul is against Hand, Lonnie Hand.
We have now had 3 fouls and no time elapsed on the clock.
And we're walking back and forth that 94 feet pitch.
I'm about ready to put roller skates on the referees here.
Here's Chapman back in. And let's see who they pull. They're going to pull Tad Weiss.
Man at the line, number 44. That's Chapman you're looking at in the center circle.
So here's Schulz.
His daddy happens to be the business teacher at the high school in Storm Lake.
3 out of 3 from the line. 61% from the field. His field goal shooting percentage is superb.
All 5 of those starters at Storm Lake average B academically. They're saying they're the team of the future. That's the youngest AA team in the whole tournament.
Both Chapman and Schulz for Storm Lake have hit 4 out of 4 from the line. Clutch free throw shooting. As a team now, they've got 9 out of 10 from the free throw line. 21-20, Storm Lake back out in front. They get it away. That's Weiss. Chapman. Some bumping going on. Abbas gets his big frame up there. I don't know what Brad weighs, but he's got some beef on that 6'2" frame of his.
215 before the game.
1:45 left to go. Jorgenson handling it. Hand traveled. You saw the feet slip. I don't know if the floor is slippery or what, but we have noticed several times in the tournament some of the shoes give way. They just didn't grip well, so they better get some stickum on the bottom. 21-20. The Tornadoes with the lead and the ball. That's Chapman, their premier player, getting it dug away, and Abbas comes up with it.
This is AA back in '68 when Barry Holtgrew won the state title at Storm Lake. AA was the biggest class at that time. They won it all.
Jorgenson, and gets it from behind from Schulz.
Barry Holtgrew is an insurance executive now in Storm Lake, Iowa. Fine man. He went from Storm Lake to Iowa Wesleyan College very successfully. Went back home to sell insurance.
Normally you see him here at the tournament. I hope we do.
I'm sure he's here.
Yeah. Okay, Tad Weiss comes in. Engebretson goes out. That's a change for Storm Lake. 1:19 left to play. Storm Lake has a 21-20 lead. However, you see Phil Jorgenson, 73%er from the free throw line on the line. Number 4 AA scorer.
8 straight free throws in the Stub State upset of Humboldt. Got 26 points. Hit 8 big free throws right down the stretch.
Okay, let's see what he does on his second try. He could give us our 6th tie if he hits it. 21 all. Jorgenson has 7. So against the full court, you're looking at Tad Weiss trigger it in to Brother Matt. The Weiss boys. This is Tad. Behind the back as he moves against Hand. And the Tornado fans love the move. The ball slapped away and a foul called on Abbas. Brad Abbas picks up his first personal foul. Had our share of fouls, as Mitch mentioned. 21 all. So here is Doug Otto. 63%er from the line. Club's number 2 rebounder. Very capable of blocking shots because he can get up off of his feet. Engebretson back in. Tad Weiss goes out. So let's see what happens to Doug Otto. 1 out of 2 so far from the free throw line. An end in football, takes part in track, plays tennis, plays baseball. Good student besides, so he's getting absolutely nothing out of his high school education. 3 out of 4, Doug Otto. 23-21, the Tornadoes now by 2. And they're going to move it around. That's the Hand brothers playing catch. Doug and Lonnie. Helskov, the baseliner. The rebound to Helskov, a 12-footer. Give him 4 field goals. We're down to 39 seconds. We're tied at 23 all, the 7th time we've been tied in this ball game. Counting down now to 30. That's Weiss giving it to Chapman. Inside to Schulz, up around the top to Engebretson. Otto blocked by Abbas, but Abbas fouled him. His second personal foul. 2 free throws going to Doug Otto. Otto's averaging 13.5. Here's a good look at it. That's Otto with the move. He goes up, and Abbas catches him from the inside. Hampton playing without DeFries at center because he racked up 3 personal fouls, and Abbas is replacing him at that position. 4 out of 5 free throws for Doug Otto. 24-23. Storm Lake retakes the lead. 18 seconds left in the half. No luck on the second one. That's Jorgenson bringing it up. Gives to Hand. We're down to 10 seconds. To Lon Hand. Jorgenson jump shoots from 17 feet. The follow-up, no good. And that's the end of the first half with the score, Storm Lake 24, Hampton 23. We'll be back after this word from your local station.
What's it take to keep up with today's big farms? It takes Massey Ferguson 2000 series tractors. Tractors with the features you asked for. The PTO horsepower, 100 to 190. The cab, big and roomy. Tractors built for reliability with a warranty to back them up. Yes, sir. You've got what it takes.
Massey Ferguson.
See the Massey Ferguson line at Farnhamville Implement.
Played, as 3A quarterfinals, excuse me, and two teams, Ankeny and Dowling, moving into semifinal play, along with Carroll Kemper and Davis Central. So here we have semifinal with Storm Lake and Hampton. This winner, of course, goes into the title game against the winner of the Pella Cedar Rapids Regis game, which is the opener here this evening. And then we wind it up with Tripola and Iowa City Regis in Class A semifinal tonight. We'll be back at Veterans Auditorium in a moment after this pause for station identification.
Low initial price, roomy interior, excellent economy. Hi, I'm Dick Hazelbaker of Dick Hazelbaker Chevrolet. I'd like to show you two fine little cars. The new Chevy Chevette is a lot of car for the money with many new standard features. And if you like wagons, this roomy Monza wagon will carry over 46 cubic feet of cargo. At Dick Hazelbaker Chevrolet, we have a wide selection in stock for you. Bank financing available. So come on in, let's talk it over at Dick Hazelbaker Chevrolet.
The start of the third quarter coming up in just a second here. The halftime scoring, Phil Jorgenson, a total of 7 for Hampton, 2 for Doug Hand, 6 for DeFries, and 3 fouls, 8 for Helskov. For Storm Lake, Weiss has a total of 4, 2 for Engebretson. Doug Otto has a total of 4 points, 4 out of 6 free throws. Roger Schulz has 6 points and 8 points by Chapman. The difference here is 1 point, and statistically, on the boards, the shooting, whatever, we found that Hampton had the statistical edge, Storm Lake the scoring edge, DeFries and Otto, they'll try again. False jump will go again. Double-A semifinal. The winner gets into the championship game. The loser goes into consolations. Just underway in the third period. Here we go. Hampton with the ball. Storm Lake has the lead. That's Jorgenson. He likes that one. Give him 9 points, his first scoring of the second half as we just started. Weiss in the backcourt being crowded by Jorgenson as they goes into the front court. Hampton retaking the lead by 1. 25-24. Chapman, the air ball. The follow-up by Otto and kicked away on the rebound into the hands of Helskov. He gives it up in turn to Hand. Doug Hand gives the ball on the far side to Jorgenson. Looking inside to DeFries. He's nursing 3 personals. Jorgenson, no luck. Lonnie Hand on the follow-up. No luck. And the rebound goes to Chapman. 7 minutes left to go in the third period as Weiss handles on the far side. Now Frosty has climbed back up into our little booth up here, and Mitch, we got us a dandy.
Yes, you do, Mark. A real shootout between two good teams.
That's Jorgenson, a top shooter. He now has 11.
I just wanted to check a moment. Have they added some extra stairs to that flight since last year?
I used to bound up those things. Used to jump over this railing here with a lot of zest. The bomb no good from the corner by Chapman, about a 22-footer. And bringing it up is Phil Jorgenson. From the outside, Hand. Lonnie Hand, his first scoring of the. A couple of quick baskets by Jorgenson, one by Lonnie Hand. And those 6 points have all of a sudden catapulted Hampton in the lead by 5, 29-24. The Tornadoes scoreless here in the opening minute and a half of the third period. Engebretson trying to change that. Cannot. DeFries gets the rebound. The foul from behind is on Otto.
You know, Mark, earlier today when I interviewed Randy Peterson of the Des Moines Tribune, who picks Randy's dandies, at this point of the tournament, he is 13-0 in picking winners.
Wow, he's almost tough as you are.
Well, he and I are leaving for the horse track tomorrow morning if he keeps that up. In this game, he picked Hampton over Storm Lake, and he's 13-0 coming in.
Remarkable. We're down to 5:45 left to play in the third with Lon Hand trying it. The follow-up by Jorgenson, no good. Chapman on the rebound. Boy, that Jorgenson can get up off his feet.
Now, if you really want the scientific Mitchell survey, at this point of the tournament, the light jerseys have won 7 and the darks have won 6.
How about the visitors and the home teams? You got that down as Chapman misses?
Yeah, that happens to be 7-6 also.
I knew you'd know it. Out of bounds, and they're going to give the ball to Hampton. 5:25 left to go here in the third. 29-24, and Storm Lake still scoreless from halftime. We were 3.5 minutes deep into the third. That's Jorgenson on the far side.
Those colors of red and black that Hampton's in have been lucky out here. East Des Moines wore them all the way to a state championship last week in a girls tournament.
Against the man-to-man the Tornadoes using, and now we want a time. Storm Lake has been here, however, 8 times. Larry Parman, their coach, this is his first trip. They won it in '68. They were runner-up in '70, and '70 was the last time they were here, so it's been 9 years. But they're back now and trying to find the answers. Jorgenson around the outside. Misses, and Chapman rebounds. And Chapman is fouled from behind by Hand. And that on Doug Hand is personal foul number 1.
They've announced the crowd at 12,100 for this afternoon. We're now in the semifinals. The attendance running about 4,000 ahead of last year, which totaled into the 90,000s.
And the ball tipped away. DeFries has it, gives it over to Doug Hand. He tries a solo effort, lost it out of bounds. Engebretson touched it last, apparently, and the ball goes back to Hampton. The Bulldogs.
I think you'll see Doug Hand trying to draw a foul. I don't think he could got the shot anyway. He was strictly going up underhanded, wanting to be hacked.
DeFries, as we're back live, his 8th point, all on field goals. He's had 3 personal fouls, got those quickly in the first half.
Great pass.
Yep. And finally, it is Schulz getting the lid off for the Tornadoes. That's their first basket of the second half. 31-26. 4:15 left to play in the third period. Hell's Cove gets underneath to DeFries. He lost it, picked off by Engebretson, and the Tornadoes have it. Counting down to 4 minutes now as Chapman goes from the corner. Boy, that brings Storm Lake alive.
And he's a streak shooter. When he gets a hot hand, he can do it to you.
All of a sudden, it's 31-28. Hampton still has the lead and the basketball. Lon Hand to Doug Hand. Jorgenson from the corner. Artillery exchange.
Chapman is the boy that moved into Storm Lake from Ida Grove. Jorgenson, the kid that moved out of Storm Lake to Hampton.
13 for Jorgenson, averaging 18.5, scored 17 in the Washington win. Less than 3.5 to go, 33-28. Storm Lake trails. Engebretson shot, no good. Follow-up, no good by Otto, and the foul is going to be whistled against Lon Hand, his second personal foul.
You'll see that this one's pretty obvious. Otto wants to go up, and Hand got a hand on arm at that particular point. That sounds like the hip bone's connected to something else. The hand got on the arm.
I think he all wished he could have withdrawn that hand in time because he was beaten.
Well, you've heard the MC say, give him a big hand. He did that time, right across the elbow.
All right, the pass inbounds along the baseline. That's going to go. No, he traveled before the shot.
He gave it the double pump on the fake, and when he did, he moved the foot.
That's Dean Zwemke, and you notice he didn't complain.
He knew it.
It's a good call. Zwemke played well in reserve in the Clear Lake game. We have about 3 minutes left to go here. The pass inside to DeFries. Nice assist by Jorgenson. Hit him right in the hands. 10 for DeFries.
The team from Storm Lake has to catch up now. If they go into the fourth quarter behind to Hampton, Hampton is capable of letting the air out of the ball.
7-point lead, biggest lead of the afternoon by Hampton, which trailed by a couple of times. Generally speaking, it's been Storm Lake that's done the scratching.
Mark, in their sub-state final win over Humboldt, they only took 1 shot in the fourth quarter, and that was at the buzzer.
Boy, you saw Schulz venture into that lane, come up against DeFries and hit it in. DeFries, I think, is pleased no foul was called. Schulz has a total of 10. That's his average. DeFries, beautiful assist from Doug Hand.
One of the reasons Coach Hanneman lets them go in that ice box, oddly enough, they shoot 69% for the season from the free throw line, but in the fourth quarter they shoot 90%.
Second time by 7. Hampton, the Bulldogs, counting down to 2 minutes left to play here in the third. In is Tad Weiss, number 14, brother of Matt, who is now sidelined, so it's Tad Weiss who's in the lineup. Zwemke, the rebound goes to DeFries. Over to Jorgenson. Jorgenson with 1:45 in no rush, moving into that west court here at Des Moines. AA semifinal. The winner goes into the title game, take on the Pellicida Rapids Regis winner. Those two play tonight, the opener. Hand a little bit short. Chapman lost it out of bounds.
You know, Mark, there are a lot of people around the coaches' room and the press row that have been saying the winner of the Cedar Rapids Regis game with Pella, that'll really be the state championship game tonight. Well, maybe. I remember a year ago today when they said the Grinnell-Emmitsburg game was for the state championship AA. They forgot about an outfit called Denison.
Amen. We just saw number 10, Matt Weiss, come in, replacing his brother Tad. That's Matt handling the ball there. 21-footer if he gets it. That makes the coach look good. 37-32. The difference is 5. Hampton. Saved by Helskov underneath the DeFries. Blocked and a foul called on Engebretson. Superb effort by Engebretson, regardless.
The old college try in high school that time.
His first personal foul. So that puts DeFries on the line. He has a dozen. He has yet to hit from the free throw line. He missed in his one attempt.
Engebretson was given up 6 inches on that try.
So let's see what DeFries does on the pair. .70% shooter from the line.
Been on the basketball team ever since his freshman year, varsity. His mama's name's Shirley. She happens to be the lab technician at the Franklin County Hospital in Hampton.
She's probably here now.
Oh, I'll bet you.
That's 14 for DeFries, 2 out of 3 from the free throw line. 39-32, Hampton by 7 for the third time. Their biggest spread. Weiss to Engebretson, trying to get through. You saw Doug Hand go down in his can. There's the ball tipped out of bounds. Engebretson touched it last. They give the ball to Hampton. 43 seconds remaining.
Our color camera shows you that sea of red behind there. Those are red flags. Those are known as, well, they're red bandanas, but they're known as Hanneman's hankies. Hanneman happens to be the coach, of course, David Hanneman, kind of like the terrible towels of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they wave them up in the crowd.
So Jorgenson forgets himself and double dribbles. The turnover gives the ball over to the Tornadoes with 34 seconds left to go. We're in the third. Engebretson inside. Otto. Helskov on the rebound over to Jorgenson. Counting down to 15 seconds left. Out to Doug Hand to Jorgenson, who glances at the clock, sees there's 10 left. He's going to try it. He was hit on the arm. And Engebretson picks up a personal foul, and that is his second personal foul.
See the referee running over to make sure the official scorer gets the foul in the right column.
Right on.
Here you see Jorgenson on the drive. He's going towards the baseline. He'll want the fadeaway jumper, but he can't get it. Got it away, but it was on the hand apparently after the shot.
Right. They tried the tip in play. That was Helskov on the attempt. He missed it. Chapman loses the ball out of bounds with 2 seconds left.
Did you see that sigh of relief from DeFries?
You know it. I think they both looked at the official.
He heard that whistle and remembered he had 3 fouls.
Schulz, at the end of the quarter, they can't do anything with it. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Hampton 39, Storm Lake 32. We'll be back after this word from your local state over Storm Lake after trailing at halftime by 24-23.
This has been a tournament where it didn't pay to be ahead at halftime. They've really turned it around.
Indeed. One club or the other comes back in that third quarter and has a biggie.
6'7", look at that.
All right, all set to go. Otto can leap, remember, he's 6'4", but he can get off his feet. Almost matched him on the jump. The tip controlled by Hampton. The Bulldogs, the red and black. Out in front here by 7, their biggest lead. Enjoyed that 3 times, pulled away. by Otto, and then it's Jorgenson reciprocating with a steal in the bucket. 15 for Jorgenson. 41-32. That's a new high, a 9-point spread.
As I mentioned, you don't let Hampton get very far ahead because they'll set on it in the fourth quarter.
All right, this is Chapman. Going inside. Otto trying to find some room.
Beautiful.
Follow up nicely by Schulz. Schulz has a dozen. He's averaging 10.
That was a pretty big bucket to Storm Lake right then. They've got to stay close.
DeFries. The battle of the rebound and a jump ball. A great save that time by Engebretson. It looked like the rebound had been garnered.
One of the first things they teach you in college is you don't come down with the rebound like you do in high school. Somebody will reach in and take it away.
Steve Ludens, a 6'2" junior reserve, apparently had the rebound. The tip control by the Tornadoes into the hands of Otto. He gives it to Weiss.
Steve Ludens' dad, Henry, is the head of the booster club right now at Hampton.
7 left to go, final quarter. Nice pass inside, nice move by Otto. His first basket of the afternoon. He has a total of 6 points. 4 of them are free throws.
Coach Larry Parman really begging his Storm Lake Ball Club right now.
The difference is 5. Jorgenson across that zone. Nice pass. And right on the money by Ludens.
Was that pass intended for him or Heilskog?
Well, that's a good question.
They were both in position.
Ludens came up out of it and picked it off. And had that easy position close in for the bucket. 43-36. Build it up to 7. That's Chapman taking it easy. 22.5 feet. The rebound goes into the hands of Doug Hand. 6:15 left to play. Final quarter. Weiss slaps it out of bounds. They'll return it to Hampton. Lon Hand comes in, and Ludens goes out. And now we've got a timeout being called. The timeout being called by Storm Lake. Now this word from your local station. The PA announcer, Bob Wilson, just asked the fans to identify their allegiance, and boy, they did it with a vengeance here. This place was vibrating with the cheers. 43-36, 6 minutes left to play. Hampton has the lead and the ball. As Frosty suggested, they can let the air out of it. They get to a certain juncture.
They're still in their regular offense right now.
Right, they're working against a man-to-man.
They like to go inside to DeVries, outside to
Helskov. 10 points for Helskov on 5 field goals. He's averaging 11.5, 45-36 by 9 for the second time, their biggest lead. They dig it away. Doug Hand is the one who stole it.
Todd Helskov has been awarded a Rhodes Scholarship. He is an absolute 4-point student, and he'll take that either to Central College or the University of Iowa, a Rhodes Scholar.
Fine athlete, all conference in football, I understand too, Mitch. Jorgenson, speaking of fine athletes, the rebound, Jorgenson. Gets it out to Doug Hand, about 17.5 feet. Towering rebound by Chapman.
Definitely not slowing down the game there. They're putting it up.
45-36 it remains. Offensive foul. So Weiss picks up personal foul.
You see Doug Hand nailed down the 10. He's number 23. Is he in position? Well, that one you can argue with whether he was set or not.
So the ball is over to Hand, and now Weiss is on defense against Hand, who goes all the way, rejected underneath, and then the foul is called. It looks like it's on Schulz. It is. That's his second personal foul. There's a good look at him.
They're coming right down there quick. Watch him carry it up. And
so as he moved down the lane, Schulz apparently reaches in.
The gentleman making the call there was Gene Glab of Dubuque, the referee.
Tad Weiss, number 14, just checked in, brother of Matt. Matter of fact, replaced Matt. Last time that Coach Larry Parman did that, Matt Weiss responded with a basket. Let's see what happens with Tad Weiss.
Larry Parman has not had a team in the state tournament in Iowa before, but he had 3 of them in the state tournament in Missouri.
Doug Hand with a clutch free throw, 70% from the line.
Coach Dave Hanneman for Hampton was the head coach at Wall Lake, Iowa. Didn't like the head coaching pressure, so he took the 9th grade job at Hampton. Had these kids as freshmen. They moved up to juniors, and he moved on up with them.
So we're down under 5 minutes left to play. The ball almost picked off, but the Tornadoes retain it. That's Engebretson, 47-36. The spread is 11, the biggest lead of the afternoon. Hampton. Engebretson. Chapman. And it'll go. And a personal foul whistled on the young man getting up off the deck. That's Doug Hand.
Doug got up a little bit slow that time.
And Chapman, who was the number 6 scorer in 2A in this tournament, has picked up his 12th point and will look for his 13th now.
He went 10 out of 18 for 20 points against Clear Lake, and they were long shots. We're not ready for the 1-and-1 on that end of the court.
And apparently it came after the bucket. Not on it. There's the foul whistled against Otto. That's his third. It's 47-38.
Storm Lake having to gamble a little bit right now, being down by 9. You watch him in that combat in there. He got him with the elbow.
Sure did. So here is Lonnie Hand, brother of Doug, averaging 6. He has 2 here this afternoon.
He has 2 other brothers other than Doug also. That's a pretty concerned coach that you were looking at.
So Lonnie Hand responds.
Hanneman of Storm Lake.
Coach Hanneman calls Lonnie Hand the unsung hero of this ball club. Here's Matt Weiss in for brother Tad.
This fellow looks like a quarterback on the line. You're right. He was all conference up there.
And he's got another one coming. The rebound goes to the Tornadoes. They need the ball. They're down 10. 48-38. 4:24 remaining to be played. Engebretson. Second basket for Engebretson. He's been averaging 10. He had 15 in the win over Clear Lake, so he has found this to be a long afternoon so far. Lonnie Hand drops it down to Hell's Cove. Inside to Jorgenson with a left hand.
How sweet it is.
17 for Jorgenson. 50-40. The spread is 10. Under 4 left. Matt Weiss on the shot. The rebound to DeFries.
Hampton, to my surprise, is staying in their offense. Their reputation is to slow down after the 4-minute mark, but they're still in it. Well, wait a minute. They're starting it out awful deep.
Let's see if it happens now, right?
When they bring the big man out away from the bucket, we'll know it.
Well, they've got the they've got the weave going, Frosty, so apparently that's what they've decided to do.
This is not their stall. They call it their layup offense.
I think that was touched last by Otto. It was. It'll go out of bounds to Hampton.
Hampton wants timeout to set up what they want to do.
And let's see if they call it. They do. Timeout. Now this word from your local station. They had a little bit of adversity strike them in the Washington game. They lost to reserve Tom Drew at a football knee, apparently, Mitch, and then he re-injured the knee in the game, and they tell me that that's it for the tournament.
Right. His dad happens to be a lawyer, and I told him I wasn't even in town. I don't know who hit the kid. Don't get involved, huh?
Well,
nice boy.
Yeah, let's hope the knee works out.
Yeah.
All right. So they try to put it in the deep freeze. Almost a foul that time by Schulz. They picked off by Engebretson. Should have the easy 2. 6 for Engebretson. That's Jorgenson almost throwing it away. Did throw it away.
Almost threw it in the hoop.
Yeah.
Wrong way.
Well, that was Hand trying to save it.
Well, since the timeout, the Hanneman stall here so far has given up a bucket and then had a turnover.
Indeed, and there's still some time left. 2:48. Chapman, who can shoot. Rebound by Schulz, blocked by DeFries. DeFries gets the rebound. Tough play by the big guy. That's Hand, and Hand is fouled by Weiss, who picks up his 3rd personal foul.
Boy, he hustles hard.
That's Matt Weiss. All conference in baseball, outstanding in basketball, really plays it tough. He and his brother, Tad.
People think that's a famous basketball name. It is. Their dad's the coach at Buena Vista College at Storm Lake.
So here's one of the Hand brothers. This is Douglas Jr. Nothing happens. He had hit 2 out of 2 before that. He has a total of 4. 2:28 left to go. The Tornadoes with the ball. They're down by 8. Engebretson, 2 flat. DeFries gets the rebound, gives a Hell's Cove in turn to Lon Hand over to Phil Jorgenson. Counting down to 2:15. There you see it, 50-42. Jorgenson penetrating. Beautiful move. Nothing happens. The rebound goes to Engebretson, gives it to Weiss with 2 minutes left to go. Far side to Chapman. He'll try it. Right on.
They're in their gamble offense. They've got to be with a minute 49 to go. They'll take shots they probably wouldn't ordinarily.
That's 14 for Chapman with a minute 46 to go. It's a turnover. He was out. It'll be the Tornadoes' ball. They're going to call a timeout. Timeout called by Hampton.
The Iowa Broadcasters Association awards 2 college scholarships every year. Your local station has complete information and interested people to talk to about rewarding careers in radio and TV.
The spread is 6 with a minute 46 left to go, but the ball belongs to Storm Lake, which means they could move to within 4, and if they do, that would be a key situation because, Mitch, they're very, very much in it if they get the bucket.
Yes, sir. Mark, awful good ball game coming up on the network tonight. People all over Iowa, I think, are really going to enjoy Cedar Rapids Regis, number 6 in the state, and Pella, number 1 in the state. The winner of that, of course, meets the winner of this for the state championship. And watch this one. This is Jorgenson, number 11. Turn it over with the wrist. You saw it right there. He palmed it. Fischel was in great position, which is probably the most important thing about being a good referee is being in position.
Well, and as you know, these officials earn their way into this tournament by their excellence.
48 of them out of the whole state of Iowa will get to work in the state tournament. They're graded just like everybody else. That man over there you're looking at is Bernie O'Connor. He's out of Dubuque, Iowa.
Now we're taking a look at Engebretson as he triggers the ball into Chapman. 1:45 left to go. Chapman's the gunner. He's got a beautiful touch. That's a long one, about 23 feet. Beautiful rebound underneath by Otto.
A big bucket.
And he is fouled by Ludens. That on Ludens is his first personal foul. Here it is.
You watch it. 54 is Otto going for the loose ball right there, going back up the air, and Ludens reaches in, got him on the right arm.
All right, so the basket counts. Otto has 8 points, only his second field goal, but a key one, and now he has a chance to make it a three-pointer. Both ways. He does.
The hat trick.
He gets his 3 points, and there's a 3-point spread.
This was 10 just 2 minutes ago.
Isn't that something? That's Ludens out to Jorgenson. Jorgenson gives it to DeFries. As you suggested, ever since they went into their semi-stall or spread offense,
every man out there shoots better than 65% at the free throw line.
That's Tad Weiss. Matt Weiss, rather, his 4th personal.
And they fouled a 70% free thrower on the season. Doug Hand.
Down to a minute 13 left to go.
Doug's got to get this tournament over with, Mark, and get home. He's on the prom committee.
I don't think he's thinking about that right at this moment. Right on. 3 out of 4. Doug Hand. Pressure free throw. He cans it. The spread now is 4. Six points.
Storm Lake got here in an overtime, and the sub stayed over West Lyon of Inwood, 56-54. They've been tight ones before.
The shot rejected by Jorgenson. Hampton has the ball. A minute left to play. Storm Lake trying to make a run at it. Under a minute. And the foul is called on Chapman, his first. Caught Hand across the head, but he's all right.
As I mentioned, it does not make a lot of difference on which one they foul out there right now, Mark. Everybody out there is a better than 65% free thrower. And according to the coach, 90% in the 4th quarter, meaning that the kids are great competitors. They rise to the occasion.
And, you know, that's actually what you try to attain, some excellent free throw shooting. They're the best points in the world.
Get it first, get it right. Tune in your local radio or television station. The broadcast industry in Iowa, represented by the IBA, the Iowa Broadcasters Association.
Doug Hand, who hit 2 out of 2 just a moment ago, Frosty. under a pressure situation. I think there's less of it now because the lead is 5, but nevertheless, the points obviously are necessary. Hanneman will take all he can get. He'll get 50 if he can. Nevertheless, Hand apparently can respond in the clutch, and as you pointed out, a good free throw shooting ball club, so it's going to be interesting to see what he comes up with. The biggest opportunity now for Storm Lake, and really the only one, is for the miss.
That's right into the Hampton huddle that you're looking there right now. Here comes the man down. As what's that behind the back move there and up in the air? That'd be Weiss, tapped away
by Jorgenson. Picked off by DeVries. Outstanding defense by Jorgenson.
That DeVries in a crouch is still bigger than most of those fellas.
Well, that's it. That's it. He's not a big jumper. I understand he's still growing. I mentioned earlier that he's got a vertical jump of near 11 feet, 10.9. Now that puts you 9 inches above the old basket. But we have not seen him leap like that.
You watch him leap. If he misses this, Doug Schultz, or Doug Otto and Schultz are the inside men.
Doug Hand, cool as a cucumber. 5 out of 6 his last 3 in a row.
I guess that's what the man had told us.
Cool Hand Doug. Wow.
So how do you get the ball? You don't dare foul him. They make him.
Well, exactly. Yet it's your only strategy. Weiss brings it down. Engebretson flats it too much. Slapped up there by Schulz, I believe. Schulz put it up again. No good. Schulz again. Schulz again. That will not be a basket. The foul before it. And that's on Ludens. That's his second. They had a chance, Mitch. It wouldn't go down.
6 tries. 6 tries on that one. You watch it. Maybe we can count them go up for you. There goes banging up there one time. They're coming back down. He's going back up. Well, this is the time the foul happened on. 3.
Right.
They're still trying. There's 4 going back up. Yeah. And the whistle sounded, I think, this time. Thought I had 6 that time.
And we have Lon Hand reinserted in the lineup.
This is
replacing
critical.
Ludens.
A left-hander.
Yeah. Schulz. So both clubs responding under pressure.
Ice water in the veins at the east end of the auditorium right now.
Give him a total of 13. 5 out of 5 from the free throw line here this afternoon. Boy, some spectacular free throw shooting. These kids have been well taught. 54-49. There you see the press. The ball gets up to Hand. Almost stolen. And there'll be a foul called on Engebretson as he sent Hand into the bleacher section, but they're okay.
Will there be a bucket?
I don't believe there will.
You watch him come into this. This is on the replay. Watch him come down right now. He's in control. They've got a 2-on-1. They're wanting to get to a DeVries on the near side, but watch him keep running. And he caught him with his shoulders. He went by.
That's a good call, as we can see that the foul took place before the basket. On the way on the pass. And now we've got a timeout being called by Storm Lake. So I'll tell you, this Larry Parman making his first trip here, Mitch, is going to milk it for all it's worth. He's down here by 5 and 27 seconds left, but where there's life, there's hope.
As a prep in Eagleville, Missouri, he was a sophomore on a team that finished second in the Missouri State Tournament. Then as a coach, took 3 teams back to the Missouri State Tournament. And this is his 4th year at Storm Lake. Coach of the year for the Lake Conference, obviously.
Well, he's got himself a 7-game winning streak hanging on the line here as well. And right now, he's 27 seconds, along with his ball club, from being eliminated from this tournament. That's not quite accurate. They'll go into consolation play, eliminated from the championship round. As Frosty mentioned, Pella and Cedar Rapids Regis should be a superb matchup tonight. That winner takes the winner of this game. And then, speaking of superb matchups, we have Iowa City Regina, which has captured the imagination, I guess, of most folks in the state of Iowa. Just an outstanding team, taking on a determined Tripoli gang. Tripoli's only lost once. They're 24-1. The trouble is, Regina's perfect, 25-0, and they're better than that over a couple of years, aren't they?
Oh, they were on death row, though, when they got the call from the governor the other night. Double overtime with Rock Valley. 2 seconds to go when that Kurt tipped that ball in.
Isn't that something? Here's Doug Hand.
He knew it the minute he released it.
I think so. That's only his 2nd miss out of 8 free throw attempts. Good free throw shooting. Good free throw shooting. 55-49 by 6. Chapman. Almost. The follow-up is by Engebretson. The rebound goes to Ludens. He saves it. Over to Jorgenson. The Helskov saved it. Down to Doug Hand. 10 seconds left to go. He brings it back out to his brother Lonnie. Far side to Helves Cove. Jorgenson at the buzzer. It's all over. And Hampton has moved into the championship round. That's the end of the game with the score. Hampton 55, Storm Lake 49. We'll be back after this word from your local station.